So, someone complained. That's right, I got a complaint. They said, they missed my live stream. I was messing around. They didn't complain. They just wish they could have seen it. I said, well, you didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. But anyway, I thought I'd do a quick little thing. It may not be quick. I got to set my other monitor up. It's got the chat on it. I can't see my phone because it's pointed at the screen. And the other monitor's got, I'm going to put the chat window on if I can get it up here. Guess while I do that, I'll play my latest song that I was working on. It uses the horn from Middle Earth. I love that horn. I love the horn. And while I'm setting this up, I'll let this play one time. Can't get my other monitor up. I don't know why my monitor's not coming up over there. I can't see my chat window if anybody happens to stop in. I'll probably have to keep that in. I tell you, man, it's always something. It's always something. There's supposed to be an extra thing up here that's got my other monitor on it. But for some reason, it's not even showing it up. I don't want to sit here all day and try to figure it out. Let me stop the stream and I'll just restart it once I get it figured out. I mean, I plugged it with something. Oh, I know. I tell you, that fella ain't very smart. Oh, sure. Not a smart. Didn't plug the damn thing in. You gotta plug it in to work. You want it to work, you gotta plug it in. I guess I'd been one of them dummies that called tech support and asked, you know, hey, I can't get my computer to work. And after many hours, the tech says, well, is the power on? Nah, it went out because there's a storm. The guy tells him, well, man, what you need to do is take your computer and put it back in the box and take it back to the store because you were too dumb to have a computer. Yeah, that's me. I didn't have the thing plugged in on it. Trying to figure it out. And y'all asked me to make things. You wouldn't want to drive any car I make. That'd be for sure up there. I'm gonna get the chat window up and then we'll get started. I gotta put it in my other screen over here. So I can see if anybody says anything. Problem is right now my orientation is screwed up. God damn it. I can't get the thing to... You ever try to move a mouse when your screen is upside down or sideways? It's not the easiest thing to do. I need to tell it to rotate it. Portrait. I do landscape, but it won't let me live stream with a landscape with the phone. Why am I using the phone, somebody might think? Well, it's having so many problems with it recording my audio. I know damn well it's going to record me this time. So it's recording on the phone, through the phone. So, that's why I'm doing it this way. It ain't something I'm going to do often. Just today, really, probably. I rotated my screen back over again. Well, I tell you, it's tough to do this like this. Here we go. Portrait. So much better. Alright, now I get the chat window on there. Okay, alright. tube. I should see like what y'all see for a minute anyway. And I know it's cutting off part of the screen. I'll try to keep that in mind during the tutorial. Not the tutorial. This is more like a hangout kind of day. You hang out for a little while and shoot the breeze while I'm kind of trying to figure out get this thing working here that I should have had working by this morning, but I don't yet. My video, your channel, my video. Oh, there it is, right there, right there. Alright, get that there. That's going to be a problem because it's going to echo like crazy. I probably need to, I ain't thinking about that. Probably have to turn the volume down. Keep that from happening. Here's the chat. Disconnect. Pop out chat. And there we go. Another screen. I have my screen to myself now. Now you can see a pretty good bit of the monitor. Got a delay. Hand in there. Y'all see it? I don't see it. And I'm not live. Or am I? Oh, now it's live. It must have a bad signal. I might have a bad signal. I don't know. So let's load up what I'm doing. I got my chat box open if anybody wants to stop in. I'll show you where I'm at now with what I'm doing. So this is that sign from yesterday. Yeah, this sucks, man. Having a screen like this. How to turn the damn monitor portrait so it'll match, right? Yeah. Maybe that's good. You can see that pretty good. So this is the sign that's got the messed up problem with the texture. And I don't really know why it messed up. I just know it would load in game. I did have a comment. Somebody asked me about, well, could you make it have different stuff on it? Yeah, absolutely. You'd have to edit the texture though. You'd have to go into the texture and just change it. Let me show you where that's at. But this isn't my artwork. This is somebody else's. I'd have to give these guys permission to share this one. But I'm going to make my own. I'm going to do mine differently, though. I'm going to make a big billboard like you see on the highway that people drive through in some of the other games. This guy didn't say anything about driving through his. Now, there's another guy that wants one to drive through, but he wants his on a truck. I'm going to just make mine like the old Need for Speed games where you crash through. It's got an artwork on it and you can crash through it. That's what my plan is anyway. So, I got to get more stuff done. Here's the picture that's being used for the two artworks for this sign. I'm only using 2 images to flip between, but you can have, like I said, you can have up to 32 at 512 by 512, or 64 if you do 256 by 256, or 128 if you do 128 by 128. I wouldn't recommend going below 256 because it starts to look bad. You can't really tell what you're looking at, especially if you make something large. Run the little image. It's loading. Never took that long to load before. I got a couple things running in the background. That might be what's a couple of things. A few things, you can say. One of the things is reality capture. I took this up outside. You can see it. It's gravel. I wanted to make a good gravel, so I went outside with my phone and scanned the ground where there's gravel. Got to do some road work, and you can see all the screenshots that were taken, about 200. And that's a little patch of. It did not need 200 screenshots. I imported video and told it to do like every 0.3 frames of a frame, or 0.3 seconds make a frame, and it made 200 and something for a minute video, and it still missed a lot of spots. But yeah, I don't know. I can probably do nothing with that. I also took some pictures of the grass where it meets the road. You know, like where your grass meets the road at. I'm going to see how they do. Now what I want to make is some decals that blend the road better with the grass. So that's what I'm going to do with that when I get to that. Let me go ahead and close that out. That's taking a lot of memory up. Alright, now some more damage in here. Close now. Don't want to load it. Everything's corrupt, maybe. That's just another reason I don't like messing with DDS. I don't. They get weird, quirky issues. No, I'm not loading for you, man. Ah, it's crazy, man. Well, then I guess that's why it's not loading in the game either. I didn't do anything to it. I think. I just moved all my downloads out, running out of hard drive space, so I moved all the stuff out of there. That's. Let me see. I'll put it in here. Man, it gets to be challenging when you're running out of hard drive space. It does. You're always moving stuff around, trying to get more room. You never really get enough room there. That's not. There it is. No, I didn't move it in there. It's still in there. Let's go back to my email and get it again. Well, that's what I sent me. Let me get the ones you sent me. There we go. The end of the project. There's 2 images. downloads. I won't just load in anything. I probably seem like a real dumbass. I can't even figure out how to load a damn image in my photo editor right now. I don't know what's going on, man. It's like, it always, when you make these videos, things just do stupid stuff. They never do, like, things normally do. That's probably why, if you go to the official forums, they got a thing that says BeamNG cursed, and it's got like thousands and thousands of messages and stuff in it. And it's not loading. I don't have a clue. I'm stuck. Might reset or something. I don't know what's going on with this damn computer, man. Maybe it's that shit out on me. Yeah, let me just reset. I'll reset and get it set up now. This is just bullshit. This is trying to get this done. Trying to do a little video here on the computer now. Sometimes I miss my old console. I don't have to worry about any of this stuff when it's on a PlayStation. You know? You still get crashes on there, but they're far between what they are Skittles. They're farther than what they are apart from computer crashes. I think the PlayStation Pro is up to 16 teraflops. Probably about 30 teraflops by the next one I make. They don't ever really do much, but they're limited to their power draw. You don't have so much power to go to the console. That's probably why they started making that DLSS stuff. You can get multiple frames in for the same amount of money, basically. You don't take much more to process it. I think the days are over where things speed up 2 times faster every year. I don't think that Moore's Law thing's any good anymore. So they're getting creative with it, using AI. So what's the difference if you have a computer render, say, 1 million particles, or you tell it to the AI to make a picture or a video of 1 million particles? It's basically the same thing. It's just how you look at it, I guess. What's actually using horsepower and what's not using horsepower and what's using brain instead. It's kind of interesting. I think it is. I love the AI stuff. It's just the most, to me, it's the coolest thing in the world. I never thought I'd see that in my life. I'll pull my chat back up. I'll let you guys in there. But pull it up anyway. There's a glare there too, ain't there? Let me move that light. Well, it's not that light. It's got to be this. I can't adjust the, you know, the thing. I don't think I can adjust that here. Retouch on. This phone's pretty old. Pretty old phone. Is that better? Looks like it's a little better. It's hard to really tell because it's got such a delay to it that I think it's worse. It's an old iPhone 8, so it can only do so much. Yeah, I don't really have a format or like an agenda for this video. It's just kind of like I'm just talking, doing what I do. If anybody's got questions, I'm here. Oh, hey, hello, how are you? How are you? Arnold impersonation. How are you? I would like to order a quarter pounder in water. So you doing all right over there? No name. Just a bunch of balls in a circle. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 balls, 7 balls in a circle. Kind of looks like the inside of a revolver. Let me try this again. And it loads right up. Sometimes you gotta reset the damn thing. Same thing with the game. The game, you gotta do the same thing with it sometimes. It does stupid stuff and you just reset it, fixes a lot of things. It does. We're gonna rotate this around. And this is pretty much, if you want to do this too, you would have to do the same thing that I'm doing. Find a better way to do it and tell me how you did it. I always like knowing easier ways to do things. I lived in Virginia for about a year, Virginia Beach, and I didn't like a bit of it. Alright, we're going to make the canvas wider. So you can actually go the width up to 16,384, but I'm only going to do the height at 512. The higher you make the square, the more demand it's got on the system. And what will happen is you will start seeing pixels really badly in the animation. I don't know, it doesn't do too well with too fast of animation either. But I'm just going to do 1024 width by 512. There's only 2 images. It makes the timing easy also. It makes it like 0.2. No, 0.5, sorry, 0.5. So you got to put them in order, left to right. and put the other image next to it. Not snapping. If you do this and you're using GIMP, you go over to your I don't make cars. I don't make them, and it's pretty easy for me to rationalize it, because like everybody makes cars. That's no fun. I don't want to do what everybody else does. I like doing different things people don't do. Fun things, crazy things. Now, if you want a Ford, if you want an arm hanging out the back of your Ford, or a leg that's been run over and cut off, and you know it's hanging out the windshield or something, then I'm your guy. But cars, no. I got that stuff bores me so much I couldn't even begin to describe how boring that is to me. I'm not a car guy. Which is probably what most of you think if you're in a car game, but no, I am. I love the physics. That's why I like this, because I can do things with the physics. It's really cool, and it also lets me make things artistically. I don't do much traditional art anymore. This kind of fills that itch I have for doing artwork. So these are going to play out like a sequence. They're going to just go from one to the next one and start over again, right? If you do this though, you're going to want to go into your image thing here where your guide is, and your grid is, and configure it, and you'll want to set this to 512 by 512. That'll make it so each little square, your images will fit perfectly into them. And then you want to turn on the snapping so that it snaps to the grid very easily, and show the grid. You'll want to see the grid too. And of course, snap to grid. If you hide this stuff, you'll be able to see it. Hold on a minute. Let's see what I did. I would think by now, pretty much everybody has made every car that there is in existence, as far as beam mods go. I mean, what has not been done? Hold on, man. I'm gonna start this over. I don't know what the hell is going on, but it's really hard for me to focus and do two things like this at one time. I get really distracted very easily. If you'd like to send me $500, I don't need any money. I'm rich. I'm wealthy. I don't need it. You give it to the next person, though. That's me saying I don't believe you. I don't go for the scams and stuff like that. I don't got time for it. I'm sure people do though. There are people out there that'll fall for it if that is what it is. But I don't have time, and I just not really interested. I'm not doing this for the money. My wife wants me to do it for the money, but I'm not really caring much about that. She is, though. She told me this shit ain't cutting it. Talking about the amount of money YouTube makes. I said, it takes time. It takes time. It might take till 2050, but we'll get there. I'm going to export it as PNG this time. I'm not going through that again. If anybody wanted to know about the texture cooker, I never use it. The thing that converts your PNGs automatically for you if you like save them with the .color, .normal, .data extension. Because it doesn't let me edit them in the game. It crashes the game every time I try to edit one of those textures. Because it's got a cached version of the texture, but it's really looking for the other one, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. I wrote them about it, and they don't seem to really be interested in really even answering the question. They don't ever say nothing about it. They just asked several times, like, why does it keep crashing? Finally, just the hell with it. I just get GIMP and make my own. So that's what I normally do. But you see, they give me issues. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Can y'all see that? My phone was saying it's about to die and it's plugged in, so it's always something. Can't do shit. Something going wrong. Well, I guess it'll just die when it dies. It's plugged in. It is plugged in. See if I turn the color down, or the brightness down very low. Yeah, because I don't need to see that screen. I just need to see the one that I'm looking at now. Yeah, that would save me some battery. Yeah, I went and walked around the block yesterday. I was trying to get some more stuff to make things, like different things, and real life to make things for Beam. It's so hot here, man. It's miserably hot outside. Kind of just pouring sweat, man. Out there taking pictures of the road and trying not to get hit by cars. Tried to get some of the yellow and white lines to make my own little lines. I really detailed them. And got some of those taken, and I think they'll do all right. I'll get it done. This will be my clay's supposed to be here today. Look forward to that. Modeling clay. The stuff I got here is too soft. It's hard to work with it. It's like working with a piece of chewing gum almost. when it gets too hot. And it gets hot because your hands are hot. They transfer that heat into it. And the oils from your hands make it even softer. So, but I got the right kind coming. I'm going to try to sculpt the torso for that dummy and use it. I'd like to do something creative. You know, I don't want to just pick it down. I could get a dummy off the internet. I got one on the desktop of a human body, but that just ain't fun to me. I like to make things. And if I'm not having a good time, then I get sleepy and I can keep my eyes open. So that's really what it comes down to, is attention. I get bored, I get sleepy. It's got to keep me interested. If it don't, then I'm not interested. I just get tired and say to hell with it. Or I don't put much effort into it. I'm not really into it. All those Disney cars pretty much did that to me. All the requests for all them cars, and I just got, I couldn't take it much anymore. Y'all don't have y'all not the only person with problems. We all get them. We all get them. And you can see I get them too. Got to track down something real quick. Oh, sign.bmg. Okay, I gotta import this in Blender real quick. I'll just import the DAEs into Blender. That way I can make the change to the texture in there. It's really, it can cause you a lot of problems if you start changing names of textures to things that are already made. Because, well, the game's not going to see them, they're not going to know what they are. And you can, well, I'm not going to say you can, I can't yet. I'm still trying to figure out how to get a good workflow that doesn't cause me grief. So that's the broken side. And road has its signs and then the texture. I'm wondering if I should just leave it that. But I already took the time to change it in the folder, I thought. You know what I just realized? The main material is not in here. I mean, it's just absent. And I didn't move it, that I know of. It's not even in the, it's not even in here. I guess I wonder if when hard drives, if they start to go out, if they just start randomly losing shit. That's what I'm wondering. Or am I just losing the stuff because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing? Oh shit, man. The only reason I'm doing this is because I said I was going to do it. I mean, finishing this, I'd normally just say the hell with it. I'm getting irritated with it and just, but somebody wants it, so I'm going to try to give it to them. Since there's no main.material, then if I send this to a new folder and import it in with new names, it should recreate them in here. I shouldn't have to do it manually. So let's do that. I want to export this into its own folder as DAE. Let me make sure it's got the texture on it here first. So the hazard road sign doesn't have anything assigned to it. I'm going to open up that image that just saved a minute ago. So it's in here. So that when it leaves here, it's got it with it, and it's going to take it with it. But I wanted to see it in here with my own eyes and see, yep, it's working. It was purple before. That's what got me thinking, maybe my drive's going out, you know, having some corrupting files maybe. I don't know. So let's make a new folder. And this is how I normally export things from here. I just make a folder. And inside of there, I'll export the DAE. And if you're only using base textures in here, it should transfer them over and make that for you in the game. So you'll have it in the material. Main.material.json will be made for you, but you can still edit it. You need to add more stuff to it. What I did is I put it in 2 different levels, and I got confused, and I started sending stuff to the wrong damn level. That's how it started anyway, that problem. It was my fault. I'm going to change the name of this. I'm just going to put a number after it. So it's a new texture name. Make new material. So when it does come from Beam and comes into the game, it's not going to have anything but that base texture on it. So I tell y'all, you're wasting your time if y'all fill out all the other texture slots in Blender and then come to Beam and think you're going to be here. You're only going to get that one material, that base texture that's up there at the top. I can move my textures into there from the other folders. I download these galvanized metal from fab.com. Got the 4K version. There's an 8K too in there, but I didn't get that one. So we'll copy these and copy the DAE also with the other ones out of here. Now we got all our stuff in here. You see, it made the main.material. It made the very basic metal galvanized black, and it made the very basic road hazard sign 4. But you know, it's all it's going to do is that color map. Now it will adjust like your roughness, and it will adjust your alpha. If you change that to be higher or lower, it will affect that. It will also transfer if you're in Blender and you start changing like the colors of things. It'll you know, if you're using color instead of using an image. But all the other slots, when you get ready to add to those, you'll waste your time if you try to add them in here because they're not going to go over to Beam. Beam ain't going to do nothing with it. Also, so y'all know, if you got multiple UV maps for an object, you're gonna have problems. Beam doesn't handle that well. So you might get your texture, but it may be the wrong UV mapping. You might be like, why is my damn, all my stuff so, crunched up or too big or whatnot? Because it doesn't know that it's confused. I don't know what the hell it does, but you gotta delete them so you only got the one in there. But don't delete the one that you're using, in Blender. Delete the others that are not being used. If you ever use Blender Kit and you download textures from it, and you bake a texture, because a lot of these are procedural and you'll have to bake them if you want them in Beam, they're going to, it's going to make another UV map in addition to the one that it comes with, or that it already starts with, called like Auto Map or something, right? And then there's going to be one called just UV Map. You'll have to delete one of them. So, oh, another tip. If you're combining two objects, I know a lot of you do that in here. You got, say, two objects like this cube here. And say this has, say it's got this texture on it, or that thing, whatever that is. And then say you got another cube, and it's got a different texture entirely. Something different. If the UVs are different names, see, that's that auto map shit. No, you don't even have to bake it. It's just already in there. And see how that's X'd out? Yeah, that's a problem. See, that's what you'd see in Beam. Even though it's not being used in here, you see it like that in here, but you'll get the Beam and it'll pick that one. Because it don't know. It just picks the first one on the list. That's how it does it. So you just delete one of them, and then go to the other one, do the same thing. One's not being used. Now, these are both the same name, but I'll show you if they were different. And you combine them, the objects, you're going to lose one of them. See if you lost that one. You got to name them both the same UV name, so exactly the same. Then when you join them, they'll join as one object, but they'll keep both textures. That'll save y'all a lot of time too, knowing that. There's one I damn couldn't figure out for a while what's going on with it. I kept going to the UV editor, I kept redoing the UVs, I kept unwrapping, rewrapping. Could not get the damn thing to load right from nothing. Come find out that's what it was. Oh, another negative thing about it. If you're in here and you're using the damn texture painter, and it's really useful. But what I'm going to say is, if you're using DDS format with compression, it doesn't work. I asked like one of the experts of Blender that got tutorials on the internet. Thousands of tutorials. I asked him why it's doing what it's doing, he didn't know. And I figured, well, I'm sure as hell not going to figure it out, but I did. Because it's using DDS compression, and it doesn't clone. You can't clone stamp or paint. Well, you like to paint, but you can't clone stamp. So, clone stamp tool is what I use a lot. By hand in here painting and stuff, but if you're using that DDS compression, instead of seeing that, you're going to see like it looks like you punched your monitor, but the screen's still there, but it's broke, and it's got them weird colors and stuff. That's what it's going to look like. I'm not a fan of that either. They added that when you pick your item and it's yellow. They say so it's easier to see what you got selected, but it's a distraction to me because it's got you can't see your damn textures. You know what I mean? So you try to click off of it so you can see, and then it picks something else like the ground. I don't know why they do what they do. And some some of the stuff makes sense, some of it I don't understand. Maybe I'm not thinking through all the way of what they're trying to accomplish, but I just know I don't like that. You probably could turn it off. I haven't even looked into that yet. The update's kind of new. I'm not going to add all these others in here right now. I'm just going to show you all the animating part. And also, I'm not a fan of this. Now, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying what I'm not a fan of as constructive criticism. And someone that's been doing this 3 years, put damn near 4,000 hours into it, I don't like that. That's just my opinion. I don't like to, when I like to pick an object, I like the way it was. You pick the object, that texture automatically pops up. The way they got it now is, you know, you pick the object, and it's not picking the object. But then alpha's in the way. Alpha from the tree is in the way. You pick the object, and it would show you right away the material. But the way they got it now, it's not doing that. It's showing you all the materials. I liked it before where you just pick it, and then if you go to the thing, it only shows you the materials for that object, instead of all the textures in the game. Which I guess some people like it either way, but I don't like that. It's just another step you got to make, and everything, all these little steps add up and take time. You know, I don't think they really care much about productive speed. I mean, if they did, they certainly would make it so that you could lock an item so you don't accidentally unclick off of it. You ever tried to move something, you know, across the map? You're moving it way over there, and you're moving it, and God damn it, you unclick, then you can't click on it again because of like an alpha transparency or something in the way. That's pretty aggravating, man. I think the way I do it is just like Blender. You pick an item, right? You can say 1, 2, or 3 for scale, for rotate, but they should go one more step and say, I'm going to hit X, Y, or Z. If I hit Z, it's only going to move up and down. If I hit Y, it's only going to move that way, and X only move that way. That way you can get more precision. If you can do that now, you can click on these little things and do that. You ever tried to grab the arrows in the back? You can't damn grab it. You might get lucky and grab it, but they didn't make them long enough, so it's hard to get the end of it. Now they do have it where you can, like, if you just get it just right, you can grab it in a way that grabs the back side of that one, and it'll move that way. But you gotta be damn lucky. It'd be a lot easier if they just made the arrow longer. Then you could grab it, or just undo this option here completely that allows you to move it any which way. Because I never use that. I don't think anybody uses that. You know, people pretty much just like to go one way or the other for precision, right? It's very hard to grab that. You'll keep grabbing it like this when you're trying to grab it. You know, what you'll have to do is go fly all the way around the damn thing, grab the arrow, then you can move that direction. Or you need to switch the orientation here, but then that's going to throw you off too. So that's just my little opinion. Or, well, let me see. That's my 2 cents. I give it free today. If anybody hears it, that's just my gripe. But I love a lot of stuff about it, the new update. There's a lot of things I do like a lot. I particularly like this now in the particle editor. When you go to edit your particle, unless I did something by mistake, I pick particle 18. If I go back to the list, and I want to pick the next one, oh, never mind. It didn't do what I thought it was doing. I thought it stayed where I was at, where it went back to the last one I picked. But if you're way down here and you're picking a new particle, like that wood that breaks off a tree, and you want to get the very next one, and you go back to it, and you want to pick the next one, well, you have to scroll all the way back down to it again. The way they should have did it, that's just my opinion, they should have did it where you can highlight one and move the arrows up and down and cycle through them really quickly. That would make more sense. I think I consider myself one of them efficiency experts at figuring out stuff that I don't like to do. You know, if it's something I don't want to do, I'll figure out a way to make it easier, you know what I mean? And hunting down files and hunting down scrolling and all that shit takes a long time. like I said, I don't think they're really into for production speed. They're not like trying to meet a deadline or anything. They can just pretty much work when they want to and get done at their timeline that they want to do, which is fine, you know. I guess if I really wanted to, I'd make my own company and do it my way. But I do, I'm not trying to say anything negative about them. They do a lot of great stuff. There's just some things I nitpick. I think they could improve if they really want to know my opinion or my 2 cents that I'm sharing. All right, let's get the other side in here. Oh, forgot the animation. So the material, forgot light. You got to pick the sequence animation. Animation, it's down here, it's sequence. Image sequence. You tell it how many frames per second. Now, since there's only 2 images, you don't want it to be going faster. It's just going to flicker. So you got to do a real little bit. And then the framing for that should be 0.5. Now, it's not doing anything. This is another one of the bugs in the game. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. Save your file, save the level, reload it, and it'll be animated. Oh, it's already animated. Good, I didn't have to do it. I just didn't have it quick enough. Now, if you want it to look like a real light, you can go into change it to PBR 1.5. Put this image in the emissive slot here. And then what you're going to do is crank up the RGB, but go well beyond 255, go up into the thousands, and you'll start getting it to glow, right? Now keep in mind, these colors only tint the same. If it's already orange or red and you try to make it a different color, it's not going to do very well if you try to make it blue, or you try to do something completely different than what it already is. So if you did want to do that, you'd best start with white letters instead of a different color. That way you can switch between them if you want to make them different. Now someone asked, well, can I do my own? Can I add more? Yeah, certainly. Yeah, you can definitely do that. You just have to change the timing if you add more pictures, because the timing is set right now. And also, if you extend the image out beyond the length that it is now, it's like 1024 by 1020, or 512 by 1024. If you were to make this, say, 2048 because you wanted to add 2 more to it, then you'd have to redo the UVs in Blender for that shape, or it's going to look like it's crunched all up together. So you'd have to go into, pick the texture, ready, go into edit mode, and when you're going to get there, you'll just pick the faces that the sign's on. But I broke this sign, it's actually got a lot of faces now. Well, I did this one. Broke this one all up. I want to make the J-beam break like this. So it's a very dynamic, realistic thing that breaks. So you see our UVs for that. If you added 2 more images, you can do that. You can add, like I said, up to 32 at 512 by 512, or 64 at 256, or 128 at 128 is the resolution. But what's going to happen is it's going to add it. It's going to more or less kind of like squash it that way, where it's going to look, it's going to be wrong. What you'll have to do is you'll have to adjust it so that when each one of these is done, it goes to the next one and it's not overlapping at all. If it's overlapping, you're going to get stuff from the other image in there, like that. You can see that. So you got to kind of keep it. Remember, perfect square. Perfect square. Usually you can tell it to unwrap with a cube projection and it'll make a perfect square. But since that's not even a square to begin with, that's all fragmented. But anyway, yeah, you would just add more to it. I'll do that. I think I'll illustrate this, and I'm probably going to get off this thing so I can get this done. Guys waiting on it. And I'm going to do some other stuff that I got to catch up on. I don't know what I might do after that. Probably start on that. I got to start on the. I got another mod that's got the road glitch. I need to do that. And the other guy's got the sign, that drive-through that's on the back of the truck. And that doing all these signs is what got me interested in making my own sign. But I'll ask the guy if he don't mind if it's shared on the channel, but I ain't gonna ask him before I do it. And if he says, yeah, okay, then I'll share it. But if you'd rather wait, I'm gonna make it into a J-beam, or one like mine is gonna be a J-beam that you can crash into. You can crash into these, but they're just going to be a brick wall. They're not going to do anything as they are now. Let me load the other sign, the one that's not broke. It's a lot easier to use for illustration. Broke one's a little more challenging. Same one. That didn't load. Or it loaded the same thing. I don't know, I messed it up somehow, I guess. There it is. Oh, good thing I saw that. Look at that. Do you see how it imported in the DAEs? It's got a different DAE for each one I've imported just now. But what it did is it added that 0.1 or 0.001, 0.002, and what that's going to do is it's not going to work. Especially not going to work if you're using this is flex bodies for a J-beam. So it's very particular about how you name things. If you're going to do something like that, it's best to reload by starting a new general. That way it cleans all that stuff out the memory and it loaded in without adding any of that stuff to it. Let's see, number 2. See, now it comes in without that, but if I try to bring another one in that's named the same thing, similar, it's going to, if it's the same thing, it's going to add those extra numbers, because Blender don't do duplicates like that. Now there's a workaround, like if you don't want to deal with that, I like looked it up on ChatGPT, it told me how to do it, but that's, I'm not going to fool with all that. It has to do with it making instances and fake users and shit, I don't know, it's like confused me. I could figure it out, but I was like, no, I'll just do it the way I know how to do it. It works for me like this. So that's what I do here. And this one too is missing the middle image. Maybe you don't want to see letters. You want to see something different? I don't know. I think of something I could use for this. What do you see on billboards besides letters? I don't know. They got them ones that they like, the little things turn around and it's a new image on the other side. I've seen them before. Where they're, I'm not even sure what they call that. They're kind of like blinds that are the Venetian blinds. What do they call them? Ones that got the little, the things that damn you can slip up and look out of, and people always break them in their houses, and their dogs screw them up, and it looks like tweakers who live there and looking out the window all the time. You know them things. I think they're called Venetian blinds. But they make them in these signs too, but the things turn around, they rotate around, like, like that. But it's a different image on the other side of it. We don't have anything like that yet in the game. I don't think anyway. But if you wanted to simulate something like that, you should only have to do another sequence, but have the sequence where you record the animation of it doing it, and then you use that animation as the frame. So let's do this. I haven't tried this yet. I don't know if it's going to work, but it should work. So we'll use this as the thing that turns around. You don't want to use a mesh plane, because mesh plane you can only have one texture on one side, and it's the same on the other side. I found that out when I tried to make a mod of cards. The cards can collapse. The cards can collapse, and it's the same thing on both sides of it. But if you try to use a box for a card and make it really thin, what's going to happen is one side's going to bend and go through the other side, and then what you're going to see is like solid black. It's really ugly to look at. So you have to use a mesh plane if you're going to do cards. I think that, I don't know, maybe that's on the, I think I put that on, yeah, that's on the repo, I believe, my cards I made. It's like one of the first things I made. A bunch of cards. I think there's even one that comes where they're already stacked up, and you can knock them over and they'll fall over, and if they start to fall, then they'll all fall. That was like when I learned how to do the break groups. I started learning how to do that. There's a lot I don't know. There's a lot I don't know. You'll never know it all. You gotta just accept that. You'll never know everything. And then when you know it all and you think you know it all, then you don't know it well enough. You always need to improve. Learn better ways to do it. I ain't decided what we're going to put. Let's just put a name for now. Alright, let's say I'm going through some stuff to see what I'm gonna do. Texture. Let me do it this way. Ah, damn it. Save this. Just go pick a model that's already made. What's something that's unique, that's different on the front and back, that you'd want to flip it around and see the back side of it? Is that General Kenobi? I believe it is. Hello there. Actually, I think it's some Roman dude or something. He kind of looks like Kenobi, though. I don't think it's Kenobi. It might be his uncle. His Uncle Jose. I don't know. Alright. Add a camera real quick. Facing it. tell this thing to look at the thing to camera to view. So where I move, the camera moves. And I'll just rotate him around over the course of, I don't know, 16 frames. So he spins around. Let's do, we only need 16. So between 1 and 16, you can tell this to only do 16. And at frame 1, he's looking here, and at, let me change the focal length to, so it's more like an orthographic image. Alright, so hit that to animate, go to 16, and rotate it 100, 360 degrees. We want to do a complete circle. Let's stop just shy of 360. Frame 1. Rotate. The other way. It should almost seamlessly rotate. Now it's going to do that unless you pick this and tell it to be linear interpolation. Right? Put a light in it, a light source. Make an HDRI light. But I'm not going to render it with cycles. I'm just going to use Eevee because it's really quick. Now we'll just stick them in here. That's how to get that one. That's no res there. Let's see. I know 8K one in there. Yeah, there are some. You have to find them. I paid for this for a month with Blender Kit, and it's got a lot of good stuff in it. A lot of good stuff, But you can also get a lot of good stuff in free stuff too, from free places that have stuff for free. So somehow I knew didn't it? Something moved. Well, it could be fine. I'm not going to nitpick and try to get it perfect. We're going to export it as frames instead of a movie. Frame rate, this is where you pick your frame rate. You're not going to do probably 30 frames a second. You could though, but it can cause issues, but we'll still do it. Output temp folders as PNGs or JPEGs. I like to use PNGs. Doesn't really matter. Well, it does matter for size, but these you really want to convert these to BDS. Because if you're doing 16K, for example, for a larger animation, it's going to take a lot of room. Right, so we'll put these in here, I guess. At least my news folder is the wrong place. Send the collider over there. We got to turn that back off. And we'll load these into our photo editor. You can see it. I hope y'all can see it. Yeah, you should be able to see it. We'll load them into our photo editor and do the same thing, but with a new one. A new thing. We'll do new width. I said 16, didn't I? $16,384 by 512. Delete that right there. You don't want that at all in here. This background. You want it transparent. Just make a new layer that's transparent. and delete that black background out of there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go over to the view here and tell it to snap to grid. You're going to tell it to snap to grid. That's in view. Then you're going to go to image and configure the grid, and you're going to tell this to be 512 by 512. And what that's going to do, it's going to make little bitty squares, little black squares. Every 512 by 512. So you've got to fill these up now with your sequence, your animation sequence. So the easiest way for me to do that I found is to load them all into here and just move them. But load one of them first and then add the others. Sometimes works, but you want to make sure they all come into here and it doesn't load them all at the top. It's different images. That's not going to work. So I'll go where I saved these at and I'll bring them in and show you what I find to be the easiest way to do it. Where'd I damn send that to? Oh, I didn't change the temp. It should have probably went to the temp folder. Yeah. Alright. So if I grab them all like this and I bring them in, I think you're going to load them all into individual images. But if I bring in one of them, and then I bring in the rest of them, oh man, I forgot about that. Sorry. When you do render it, you want to render it at 512 by 512, or you're going to have a lot of work to do. I'll tell you what, I can't get nothing right today. I don't ever get nothing right, though. Some days I get stuff more, and things better than other days. Yeah, you gotta set that. Or you're not gonna render it out at the right resolution. You got to scale it, and that's a pain in the ass. Scaling all of them. So I'll put them in. Yeah, because what you render in that square, that's going to be what's going to go in that box. You want to try to maximize it and get as much of him in there as you can, because it's already small. It's already 512 by 512. You got him too small like that, you're not going to see anything. That's how it should be. Now pull the rest in here. And then what you'll do is you'll go to each layer, and you're going to, that's the history. Here's the layer. They're all out of order too. They're all out of order. Start with the first one. I got to delete that one. Hold on. That one is not the one. Start with the first one and move it to the very first. If I can show you. Move that one to the very first slot. and then do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, however many you do. You have to take them and drag them over there. Pick the second one, and then move it over. And what it'll do, it'll snap very easily since you got that grid set up. So 2 goes to there, 3 goes to the next one. You can import them in a way that they do it all in order. It imports it all in order, but I don't know exactly what I did to do that. So number 4, number 5. I'm just going to go through each one and put them in order, dragging each one to their little box. And see, because it snaps into there, and it's perfectly 512 to 512, it makes it a whole lot easier to line stuff up and not have things overlap. So I'm going to go through the rest of them, slide it over, and then we'll be done with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn, we got mixed up somehow. I just got all screwed up. They're all out of order, man. Oh, they got duplicates in there somehow. How the hell, man? Is all this screwed up? No, look at this. I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. Look at that. That's number 3, right? It's number 3 right there, too. If I move number 3, well, you see it move number 3. When I go to number 4, number 5, and they go to the next one. Watch this here. Where's 5? Why's 5 over there? Wasn't that just 5? No, it says it's 7. So, it's messing with me, is what it's doing. It's one of those weird things that I don't know what's going on. Hey, and I understand if nobody wants to do this, because it is a hassle and a half to get this stuff to do right sometimes. I'm going to try to get them. I don't know why it's doing that. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. there. I think what's happening, because it's grabbing the one that, it grabs whatever is in the way. So if you click on the wrong one, it's going to grab it, doesn't mean it's one you're supposed to grab. And I guess if I wasn't doing this, I could pay better attention. I remember doing mistakes. That's 11. That's 10. That's 11. That's 11. We'll get there. We'll get there. 12. 13. 14. That's right, me. So we got 32. I'm going to flatten the image. Or merge visible. Sorry, merge visible layers. And then I'm just going to duplicate it. So I can make it extend on out. Now it's going to pause if I don't remove one of those. But either way, it's going to pause. I'm going to leave it like it is. That'll be fine. To flatten the image, we'll save this and we'll change that to our texture, and it will work in the game, the animated thing. Export as. And just so I don't have any problems this time, I'm going to just use the PNG, I'm sorry, PNG. I'll call this Obi.png. Off he goes. Now in the game, I'll change that texture to Obi. But there's going to be a problem. It's not going to line up good because the UVs are not matching that big image. It's only matching for things for two images. But it's good you see it doing this so you'll know how to do it. See it showing all the images kind of crunched up side by side, right? Because the UVs aren't right. You got to go fix those. You got to go in the blender and pull them up and adjust them to that sign. Or the image putting that. You'll see on the back of here. Alright, the image of the sign itself. Or the sign itself, not him. You gotta pick the sign part of it in edit mode. The actual two triangles there. And in editing, UV editing. Oh, that loads him too, sorry. I'm just going to use the same texture name. I'm just going to change the image. Alright, see how the UVs are not matching, right? So all you should have to do is just tell it to be square. UV square project, a cube project, and it makes a cube. But the cube ain't a perfect square. It's not even. Oh, I forgot something. Since that's not a perfect square, there's a problem. But it's not going to be a perfect square. That's not a perfect square. but I've done it before where I unwrap it, it is a square, but I don't know how the hell I did it with it being like that. I just have to manually do it. So I'll just move this to the very first one. Oh yeah, that's on. You can see what's going on. You can see it. You can see it. Maybe you can now. Move it all the way to the beginning. I just have to manually do it. So somebody's like, well, how the hell do you fix that? Well, to scale this, that's probably the easiest thing to do. You might have to redo some more artwork on the sign, but that would work. But you can't just scale beyond that, or it's going to, to make it fit perfectly, because it's going to start getting all the other ones in there too like that. So I would just say, you just shrink the whole damn sign, and it won't look too bad. It'll look alright. But that's what you got to consider when you do this stuff, is what you're putting it on. So we'll export this now, override the one that's in there now, and it should work. I have to change the timing though. Oh, selection. Oh, shit. Remember, I imported his ass into here, so I got to get him out of here, the model of him. First, I'll send that to the miniature saint. The game's already running. Need to refresh the directory to get it to load the new items into it. And we got a problem. Texture problem. Textures here, but why is it? I've seen this before. I can't find a texture. It's looking for it in unknown. I don't know why it has that issue sometimes, but the damn thing's got it. They're all in there. I sent it to the same place the other ones are at. I didn't change the names of the textures. All I did was loaded a different image into here, right here. But I think what happens is the DAE exported the DAE also. So I don't know why it doesn't, in Beam, why it does not show up right, since it's a new object. Don't have a new texture name, it's just got a new image. It's all different about it. Oh, and I've shrunk it a little. maybe one of the things just need to reload, but I don't think that's the case here. I think this has got some other issue going on. This is their error here, this info.json ignoring level thing. This thing's like been in the game since I've had it. It still does that. And that shit, you get a lot of them errors, they start to like affect performance. And some of them will loop infinitely until you like crash and run out of memory or something, and they'll finally crash on you. But I understand it's early access. It's got a ways to go. No idea what the hell happened now. But I can't focus on this shit and talk at the same time. Is what it comes down to. Really what it is. It's difficult for me. ADHD, well, ADD without the hyper. I don't think I'm very hyper. I think I'm pretty lazy actually. As far as doing that kind of stuff. Energy related stuff. Except for working out. I like to work out. But I don't much like doing anything else. I'm an energy conservationist, that's what I am. Saving energy for when I really need it. I'll reload the level. If it's not working this time, I'm just going to say to hell with it. Because I'm getting irritated. When I get irritated, I turn green, and when I turn green, it ain't pretty. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. They didn't like me on Discord when I got angry. But I was an asshole that day, so I can understand that. Now it's not working, so I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. But, hasta mañana.